Coming up on Mountain News this morning, President Donald Trump has fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. And President Trump says he wants a direct role in choosing Iran's next leader, one weekend to join U.S. and Israeli strikes.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Welcome to Mountain News this morning. I'm Neely Green, live on air with you this Friday, March 6th. The time is now 6 o'clock, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm excited for the weekend, and that's it. I'm just excited for the weekend and the warm weather.
I'm excited for that cold front to drop us down just a little bit, so it makes us appreciative of just how warm we've had it. I mean, we're going to talk 60s on Sunday, but today we're talking 80s. Now, we have a couple of rain chances before we get there, so let's break that down. Starting off with this morning, some slight sprinkle chances for our far northern counties, and as we head into the afternoon, some slight scattered shower chances. Altogether, though, relatively dry end to the week compared to what we have seen this week so far. And temperatures will be in a mixture of the 50s. Really not bad this morning and the afternoon. Yep, just as I mentioned, the 80s are in the forecast. Cold front will swing through tomorrow, dropping us slightly on your Saturday, but down to the 60s for your Sunday. Don't worry, though, if you aren't a fan of the 60s, the upper 70s will be returning for your next work week. Here's a look at that temperature hour by hour, hitting a high around that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock time frame. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. We start the morning with an update on a deadly crash in Johnson County. Kentucky State Police say a propane truck crashed along Kentucky 201 on the Johnson-Lawrence County line, shutting down the road for hours. Police tell us that the driver of the truck was pronounced dead at the scene and that it was a single vehicle crash. They did evacuate people living near the area as a precaution, but said there were no leaks of any kind. We have learned the victim of the crash is Alan Skaggs, who worked for Jackson Propane Plus in Stanville. The business posted his picture and tribute on Facebook saying, quote, "He was a hardworking, dependable man with a kind heart, and he will be missed dearly by everyone who had the privilege of working with him." Former WYMT Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell said Skaggs was his brother-in-law. Our prayers go out to that family. Local and state officials visited Floyd County's newest higher ground community, celebrating the completion of the first 2 homes. The new Hope Estates subdivision is well underway as the first 2 houses planted on the property welcomed in the families who will call them home. Ruby Hale and Claudette Rayfit cut the ribbons for their new homes yesterday as Frontier Housing continues the mission to build the rest of future homes on the property. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman also attended the celebration.
I get to be a part of some really cool things in Kentucky sometimes. These are some of my favorite. Watching the families go in and be so proud and excited about a new home, especially the kids and the grandkids that run in and they want to show you their room.
Coleman says the progress is heartwarming and she hopes to see the community full of flood survivors and their families in the months to come. Monday will mark the 50th anniversary of the beginning of the Scotia mine disaster in Letcher County. 2 explosions on March 9th and 11th, 1976 killed 26 men. It was one of the worst mine disasters in U.S. history. On Monday, there will be 2 ceremonies marking the somber anniversary.
We are going to meet at Oven Fork, which is the site of the mine. We're going to meet out there about 11:30, and we're going to have just a short program centered around 11:45, which is about as close as we can get to the exact time 50 years later of the first explosion. They're going to have the remaining buildings open so you can walk around and visit some of the sites. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to go down to Benham, to the mining museum. And we're going to have a program there where we're going to talk a little bit about this, give people an opportunity to meet one another, family members, interested parties, mine rescue. A lot of mine rescue people are going to be there.
We plan on having a reporter at those events. Brian McKnight is a history professor at UVA-Wise and wrote a book about the disasters that has not come out yet. He is our guest this Monday night at 7 on Issues and Answers on WYMT. Lawmakers are rolling out Kentucky's first nuclear energy development grants in a push to make the Commonwealth nuclear ready. Energy stakeholders gathered at the Capitol Annex in Frankfort yesterday morning to announce $10 million in nuclear energy development grants. The money comes from a new program run by the Kentucky Nuclear Energy Development Authority, created to help communities and companies study nuclear projects. Officials say the goal is to expand Kentucky's energy options while attracting jobs and investment.
We see what's going on in our society, and you think about the demands of energy over the last 15 to 20 years, which has generally been on a level playing field, about 1% increase in demand per year. But now you're going to see, in most people's opinions, and in mine too, that we're going to have an infusion of anywhere from 10 to 15% of energy generation in the next 2 years.
The event also highlighted the first round of grant recipients and what comes next for Kentucky's nuclear roadmap. President Donald Trump has fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The move comes after days of tense questioning on Capitol Hill and growing frustration among some Republican lawmakers and White House officials. Noem had faced scrutiny over her conduct in office, including questions about how department funds were being used and her handling of incidents involving federal immigration agents. Trump has nominated Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen to take over the role.
It came at not a complete surprise, but it came at a little bit of surprise for us. And so the president and I, as you guys know, we're great friends and we get along great. I look forward to working with him and his cabinet. Of course, we still got to go through this little thing called confirmation.
If confirmed by the Senate, Mullen would take over as Homeland Security Secretary on March 31st. Noem is expected to move into a new role as Special Envoy for the Shields of the Americas Security Initiative. She is the first member of the president's second-term cabinet to be fired. Now to the conflict in the Middle East. President Trump says he wants a direct role in choosing Iran's next leader 1 week into joint U.S. and Israeli strikes. Defense officials say hundreds of targets deep inside Iran have been hit and that President Trump has ordered the military to tear down Iran's ballistic missile industry. This as House Republicans block a bid to limit the president's authority to use force against Iran.
The United States will ensure that whoever leads the country next, Iran will not threaten America or its neighbors, Israel, anybody.
Iowa lawmakers say the bodies of the 6 U.S. service members killed by an Iranian strike in Kuwait will arrive in Delaware tomorrow. The White House earlier this week said that President Trump is expected to attend the dignified transfer. We now know the name of a person killed in the vehicle fire in Laurel County. Fire crews were dispatched to El Gabbard Road near Rockcastle County just before 3 p.m. Wednesday to a car fire with a person trapped inside. Firefighters found the vehicle fully engulfed in flames. After searching inside the vehicle, they found a woman dead. Officials with the coroner's office identified her as 94-year-old Marilyn Ayers.
And we're tracking nice temperatures throughout the day. It's a mixture of the 50s right now, but by the time we head into the afternoon, we'll see significant improvements with the 80s on the way. It is a very warm day, so keep that in mind as you're getting ready for your Friday. Now, as we head into your satellite and radar, you can see it's mostly dry with some slight sprinkle chance for our far northern counties. As we head throughout the day, we will continue to stay mostly dry. However, we do see a slight chance for some scattered shower activity as we're heading into the afternoon. That will clear by the evening. Here's a look at that planning forecast for you over the next couple hours. High temperatures will be around that 3 o'clock time frame. Neely.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Governor Andy Beshear shared his thoughts on a Senate joint resolution that could make changes to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program.